Hey guys, Boston Chris back with another Ark Taming series video. And we have another, not only modded creature, but this is a brand new creature to the game of Ark Survival Evolved, brought to you by Additional Creatures 2 Wild Ark. Today, we are going to attempt to tame and spotlight the Tarchia. Now, the Tarchia, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about this creature. It spawns in the mountains, the Badlands, the wasteland area on Extinction. It'll also spawn in the upper biodome desert in Extinction, the Genesis 1 volcano, and the Eden Mountains on Genesis 2. Okay, this is a passive tame. It's an aggressive herbivore. The Tarchia is one of the island's most durable ankylosaurs, possessing a bulky body and plenty of armor. It's one of the faster ankylosaurs, moving at a good pace, but most alarmingly, it can loosen up its muscles and body armor to become even faster, but at a cost of attack power and defensive capabilities. It's resistant to narcotics. Survivors have found the best way to tame Tarchia is by bullying them. Once their ego is crushed, they can be tamed by hand feeding. A tamed Tarchia can provide a wide variety of uses, such as harvesting, besieging, or being a generally potent combat mount. Alright? So, as you can see, its best food is exceptional kibble. So that's the first thing we're going to do. We're going to put that in our hotbar. We also need grenades, and we also need a wooden club. Those are the three things you're going to need to tame this fellow. But the first thing we're going to do is test to see what flyers can pick it up, if any. We'll find out. The Argentavis cannot pick it up. We will try, the Quetzal. The Quetzal. Oh, wrong thing, my dude. Wrong thing. Alright, we'll keep trying here. Looks like it's really mad at me. So he's mad because apparently I hit him. I really wish this Megatherium would kind of screw off. You know what I mean? Get rid of the Megatherium. Okay, apparently we still didn't get rid of him. I just want to make sure. Alright, so the Quetzal cannot pick it up. We'll try a Wyvern. I don't think the Wyvern can do it either. Of course, turning with the Wyvern is always fun. We'll try one more pass. The Wyvern could not pick it up. And last but not least, we will try the Riding Natha. My guess is the Rhino will be able to pick it up. Yep. Okay. Alright, so we've learned that the Riding Natha can pick this guy up. So we're going to just bring him up here to the top of the mountain. And then we will see Need to see if he aggroes with me just walking. My guess is he will. Alright, so once he turns over like that with the explosive, we need to go beat him with a club. And then when he's like that, you can feed him, okay? Once he has the blue glow or purple glow, he's essentially depressed, okay? And he will not attack anything now. He's completely depressed. Even if something starts biting him, he will not fight back. So that's how you do it. You have to have an explosive, okay? C4, grenade, probably rocket launchers, things like that. You blow him up with the explosive, and he will turn over. You can see on the awesome spyglass to the left that he has a debuff called Depression that lasts about 10 minutes. Okay. During that debuff is when you can passively feed him. All right. And only during that time. And you got to remember that he will not defend himself at all. So if anything becomes aggressive on him, then you will have to defend it. So yeah. So blow him up, turn him over onto his back, then hit him with a wooden club to make him depressed. I know if somebody hit me with a wooden club after blowing me up, I'd probably be pretty depressed as well. From what I understand, every single time you hit him with the wooden club, you have a 5% chance of making him depressed. But once he is depressed, he will be depressed for 10 minutes. So then you just have to wait for the first feeding, which again, if you're not familiar with how passive tames work, you have to essentially drain 10% of its total food value, which in this case will be 930. So once he gets down to about probably around 8,400 food, he'll be feedable again. And then once we have him tamed up, I'll throw a saddle on him and we'll learn about his capabilities together. So I will fast forward this until we are on the last feeding. So don't go anywhere. All right, so we are on the last feeding. And so one thing I am trying to learn is you can see on the awesome spyglass that this creature is in something called Bastion mode. Bastion mode. And that is the default setting for these creatures. Alright, so there we go. He is tamed up. So let's go ahead and put a saddle on him. And the first thing I want to do is figure out what Bastion and whatever mode is. So let's see here. Still. So let's see. So it looks like left click is a headbutt attack. And you can do that while moving when you're in Bastion mode. It cannot be done while moving, but deals way more damage and more knockback. I'm sorry, it cannot be done while moving. In active mode, its damage and knockback is lessened, but can be done while moving. So how do I go from active mode to, or Bastion mode to active mode, I wonder? So right click is a tail swipe, it looks like. Left click is a, that's a roar, an aesthetic roar. That's the C key. Okay, alright, so left control cycles through the different modes, okay? left control. Another thing that a lot of these dinos and additional creatures can do is if you go up to them, you can tell them to sit. And while they're sitting like this through the radial menu, they get what's called a sit buff. And essentially what a sit buff does is it increases their health regeneration rate. So anytime you have one of these creatures that has sit down in the radial menu, just keep that in mind, okay? So we are now in what mode? We're in active, so let's stay in Bastion for now. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the different modes. So when it's in Bastion mode, the Tarchia will lose a staggering 40% movement speed. So it is way slower when it's in Bastion mode. However, it does gain several benefits. The first one is it gains an additional 25% resistance. So it becomes a quarter less attackable. And it's a buff resistance, so it's not natural armor. And because of that, that means it's not bypassed by certain damage types, like the Giga or Rock Elementals, things like that. And the Tarchia's attacks are also full-body stationary variations in this state that deal far more damage. So just remember that when you're in Bastion mode, you are slower, but you deal more damage and you take less damage, okay? But when you're in active mode, again, left control to change it. When you're in active mode, the Tarchia's speed penalty is negated, but it does lose that additional resistance and its attacks become additive, dealing less damage. Now, the cool thing about this guy is it reduces, much like the Anki, it reduces the weight of most heavy and mineral resources in their inventory by a significant amount, okay? So let's see here. Let's see. So we just got a bunch of stuff from that. Oh my gosh, this is cool. So this is good. It collects berries as well. So then we can just look in the inventory here. 100 metal with only 1.5 pounds. Like, look at that. That's pretty insane. That's pretty good. It is also immune to sandstorms, bleeding, stunning, and electrocution, and the broken bones. Okay, immune to all of that. That is pretty damn cool. The right click again is a tail attack that swings the direction that you look. Okay, so if you look left, it'll swing left. If you look right, it'll swing right. Okay. In Bastion mode, this is Tarchia's strongest attack and deals the same type of damage as a Magmasaur or a Dunkleosteus, okay? This means it destroys up to stone structures. It harvests wood, stone, and metal. It also has the bonus feature of inflicting a dangerous Broken Bones debuff on anything that it hits. Broken Bones is a debuff that is extremely potent, but only has a 10% chance on impact to apply. By default, Broken Bones lasts 60 seconds and drops the target's speed to half, while making them also take 15% more damage during the duration. What's more crucial, however, is the buff becomes more devastating the smaller the target. So you can divide your Tarchia's drag weight by the victim's drag weight, and this result is the multiplier that is applied to the buff's default length of time, with smaller targets having their bones broken for longer. Now, when you're in active mode, this attack will deal less damage and less knockback, also mostly hitting behind the Tarchia. It will no longer inflict broken bones on active mode, and the damage type changes from Magmasaur to Anki, meaning it can gather crystal, flint, gems, etc. Alright? So basically what you want to remember is when you're in Bastion mode, hold on. When you're in Bastion mode, you are far slower, but much more potent. So you could essentially go up to this trike. You can see how slow I am. You could essentially go up to this trike and destroy his face. Right? And if you get into trouble, you just go back into active mode and skedaddle out of there because you are much faster now. Okay? So yeah, that is the Tarchia. Anyway, guys, if you are checking out the video, you found something helpful about this, please show the video some love. And if you'd like to see more like this one, you can, of course, subscribe. And I will catch y'all down the road.